Bucket List Homestead, and we are back in the kitchen today experimenting with bread. Today we're going to be trying a sourdough oatmeal bread. I will link the recipe down below, but please know I am changing things a bit. I am going to be using einkorn flour instead of all-purpose flour because I have a lot of it and I need to use it up before it goes bad. We've had it a little while, so I want to use it. So I am going to be adjusting things for that. When you use einkorn flour, you need to take away about 15% of the liquid. So I've already done the math and I will give you the measurements I am using today, but the full recipe, as usual, will be down in the description. So yesterday, or 3 days ago, I got my sourdough starter back out of the fridge where it's been sitting for a few months. For some reason, something happened with the footage, but I did want to show you the gray liquid that formed on top that they call the hooch. I just pour that off. You can mix it into your sourdough. I do find it gives it a different bit of flavor that we don't care for. That's why I drain it off, but you can stir it up. I got that out, let it come to room temperature, measured out. I did 75 grams of sourdough starter, 75 grams of warm water, and I did a mix of some bread flour, and that's when I decided, oh, let me try the einkorn flour. So I put a little bit of einkorn flour in that, and I fed that for the last 2 days. Today, we are ready to use it. You are gonna need a scale for this recipe. I have found with my pump coming on and the washer going and everything's going, so I'm sorry, but if I wait till nothing's happening around here, I'll never get to filming today. We have had a lot of rain, so the sump pump is kicking in. Let me wait a second and see how long it takes before it goes out. Oh, not too bad. Okay, as I was saying, I have found with my 2 years of delving into sourdough, 2 or 3 years of delving into sourdough, measuring on a scale works out much better than using the traditional measurement of cups, tablespoons, things like that. The recipe does show you the traditional way of measuring, but it also has the measurement portion, and that's what I used. Like I said, I do find it comes out much better. And we are ready to get started. I hope this works. I love oatmeal bread, and I want a little bit of healthier bread too to eat. I think I mentioned that in last week's video. So the first loaf turned out really well. We ate it up pretty good. It still is not perfect. So we are gonna work on that this week. So in my first bowl, this is my sourdough starter. This was recently fed. It wasn't as bubbly as I would like. It wasn't too bad. It had some bubbles. I would have liked to have had it just a little bit bubbly, a little bit more bubblier, a little bit bubblier. There we go. But it wasn't bad, so we're gonna go with it. So in here is 120 grams of recently fed active sourdough starter. To that, we are going to add 1 1/4 cups of room temperature water. I was following the recipe. That's not 300 grams of honey. I took 15% away. So in here I have 255 grams of honey, not 300. I took 15% away. Okay, and then we are going to put in, I did about 20-ish grams of scalded whole milk that I scalded and let it cool down. And 28 grams of melted butter, unsalted. Okay, that is all our wet ingredients, and we are going to stir that up. We just want to make sure the starter is all broken up. We're going to set that aside. 480 grams of einkorn flour. To that, I'm going to add 75 grams of rolled oats and 10 grams of salt. We're going to give that a stir. That's it for ingredients, so not too many ingredients. And I'm realizing now I should have put the liquid in this one and the dry in this one because it's a bit bigger, so we're going backwards. We're gonna do the dry into the wet. Okay, so in my rush to get started filming in between the million other things I'm doing, one of my experiments I wanted to try today is I'm actually gonna add a little bit of yeast to this, just so I don't have to ferment it as long, because I've mentioned before, we're not huge fans of the sourness, and I have found if I don't ferment it long enough, it doesn't get the rise. So I'm hoping by adding, it's a 1/2 teaspoon of yeast, to just maybe a tablespoon of water. I don't want to add too much water because you do have to reduce the liquid. And that should have been added to the liquid ingredients earlier. So we're just gonna give this a stir. And we're gonna knead this in the bowl for a couple of minutes. So I added about 2 more tablespoons of the einkorn flour just because it was insanely sticky. So we're gonna cover this and let this rest in the bowl for 15 minutes. That's been 15 minutes. So now we're going to do a stretch and fold right in the bowl, and it is sticky. Sourdough bread usually is. Okay. Said you can do this on the countertop too, but I don't want to mess up my countertop. So we're just gonna do a stretch and fold. I think I got every side. Okay. All right, that's good. Now we are going to cover the bowl. Okay, so this has been rising for about 45 minutes. We have to do another stretch and fold. It is insanely sticky. I hope this experiment with the einkorn flour is going to work, but I'm not 100% sure. It's feeling like a nice dough other than the stickiness. All right, depending on the temperature of your kitchen, and I added a little bit of yeast too, so I'm hoping I won't have to do it as long. So if you're not using the yeast, it's probably gonna take 2 hours. If your kitchen is warmer, it may take less. If it's colder, it may take more. And okay, so we're gonna check on this. I'll check on it in an hour. It's been about 2 hours. It's definitely rising. Not as much as I want. I have to go run some errands. I'm gonna let it go, and when I come back, hopefully it has risen some more. And okay, we are back from our errands, and I am very happy with the rise on that, and it feels really, really nice. So now we're gonna put some plastic wrap on it, and it's gonna go into the refrigerator overnight for its really big fermenting time, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And it is 5:30 p.m. here. Oh yeah, by the time I get to this tomorrow, it'll be well over 12 hours. So we want it to do, and then we're gonna take it out of the refrigerator in the morning and let it come to room temperature. And that's gonna probably take, again, depending on the temperature of your house, 1 to 2 hours. So, but I am happy with how it's looking so far. So far, so good.
Ooh, hot chocolate. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button.
Hey, who took my hot chocolate?
Make sure you hit the bell so that you don't miss any new videos. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button.
It's the next day, and I'm not gonna lie, it's much later than I wanted to get to this bread dough. I did take it out early this morning around 6-ish to start coming to room temperature. It's definitely at room temperature because it's now noon. The day has gotten away from me. It has been one of those crazy, busy, things that could go wrong have gone wrong kind of day. I hope it's not gonna be too sour because it definitely has been fermenting a lot longer than I wanted. We're at like maybe 24 hours total now. So I have my loaf pan, 9x5. The recipe doesn't say to grease it. I am greasing it because in the past, I have not had good luck with these sourdough breads. A lot of them say don't grease, and it probably has something to do with the rise or something, but I am greasing it. And we have a very sticky bread dough. Again, typical of a sourdough. Okay, I'm gonna try and get all I can. Boy, this is gonna be a real fun bowl to clean in a few minutes. And we are just gonna try and shape it as best we can. I did put a little flour down into a rectangle to roll up into a loaf shape. And get it as even as I can. it feels amazing. It feels like a really nice dough. So, okay. We're just gonna roll you up. Pinch you a little bit. Bring over this. Well, I'd say that rose. I am very happy at the rise on this. So my oven is preheated for 375. It's been going for a bit. We're gonna get this in the oven and immediately turn the heat down to 350. And it's gonna go anywhere from a half hour to 45 minutes. I will check on it around the 25-minute mark. So I am so excited to taste test this. I cannot wait. This smells incredible. Just came out of the oven. It took about 40 minutes in my oven, and I put my thermometer in to get the right temperature, which is around 200 to 205 for bread. So it was perfect. We're gonna let this cool for 10 minutes, put it on a wire rack, let it cool completely, and then we will try it this evening. It is definitely cooled down. We are gonna try it. That's the inside. It's a little dense, but not too bad. I've already sliced a piece, and I'm gonna try it with no butter, nothing. Okay, we're gonna try it. I think the experiment worked. It has nice flavor. It's not too sour. I was really worried because we end up sitting a lot longer than I wanted. It's not sour at all. Oh, that's good. Okay, big thumbs up. That was an experiment that was definitely a success. Thanks for dropping by, friends, while I played mad scientist again on this whole bread situation. Until then, take care, God bless, and we'll see y'all soon.